I think being in an art study, it's far, far more than just making artists. I think it influences the society, and it's tremendously important. I think it's a basic need for society. And some, of course, say art is a part of the commerce, of the market, a commercial thing. And some actually say that even art colleges are outdated, all of them. Don't need them anymore. They're just a remnant of the past. I put in Tracy M in there, you know her, I imagine. Do many people know Tracy M? Just to give me an idea, so yes. Yeah. This sort of idea that you can make it, you kind of put your head into an art college, but you don't listen to the tutors, you don't go to the lectures, and you kind of leave after a while, and it's enough. But of course it can also be actually a profession, just like any other profession. If you're part of a university, this is the way to look at it. You know, you mix together practice and theory, and after so many years you get your piece of paper and out you come. So, what's left for art students from all that? Martin, I should say this actually, I don't talk much about these images. Yeah, they're there on purpose, they fit. It's like a parallel world. You know, if you're getting bored by me, you just look at the images and, you know. Actually, this idea goes back to Boris Groys, who some people may know of, from Germany. Actually before, from Eastern Germany, if you want to get a bit clearer picture of it. And also further back, but we'll see that. So the art students must look for something outside of the institution, not affected by art. Where's that? Something that art hasn't found, something that art hasn't seen yet, something new or innovative. I guess the ones who came yesterday know I hate the word innovative. I can't stand it. Simply because it's misused, that's why. Nothing wrong with it really, if it was innovative, if we really were innovative. But 99% of the time when we use it, we're not. We're just bluffing, playing a game. And this is the beginning. You may not understand from this, but this is where the virus comes. Later on we'll get closer to what this means. Okay, that was just a very quick glance at ideas about art. Now I just very quickly also want to explain what a virus is in terms of medicine. There is something called the lytic circle when the virus infects. Let's just quickly do this. It's not a big issue, but it could be interesting. There's a so-called process which is not absorption. I haven't spelled it wrongly. It's actually called adsorption, where the virus manages to attack the cell. Then it goes in, injects a DNA or an RNA into the host cell and takes it over. Okay. These then, as they take over the cell, they also manage to recruit. This is interesting. They don't just kill everything off, of course. They have to take over and to recruit. It's a very typical way that we also do as human beings when we fight wars, actually. The next, this doesn't matter much, by the way, so don't worry if I'm going quickly through it. Then there's replication, where the enzymes start to make new virus particles. Things are happening, right? Things are growing. And there's assembly. Particles of the virus created by the cell form new viruses. Finally, there's the release when these new viruses kill the cell, out they go, and they start all over again. And of course, we all know if we get the flu or whatever, how this works. It's quite effective. So, if you think of this in terms, a little bit more in terms of what I'm talking about, it would, in terms of art study, it would attack a student. Again, I'll come back and I'll go deeper into what this means. Idea enters the host, in this case the student, and the student adapts to it. There's also an invasion where the idea will manage to recruit the student. And there's replication as the ideas create new ideas. Just as the virus created a new virus, ideas then break free and they infect others. Okay. It's important to mention memes in this because I'm sure some of you are thinking, God, it's hot here. That's what I'm thinking. I'm sure some of you are thinking, aha, this links to memes, and of course it does. A meme is an idea, or a behavior, or a style that spreads from person to person within a culture. A meme acts as a unit to transmit cultural ideas or practices. Okay? From one mind to another through writing, speech, gestures, rituals, etc., etc. Even here, the way I stand, it's different. Go back 50 years, or I don't know, whatever, it would be different. You know, I would maybe stand further away, you know, things change. The way we act, the way we are, even me using it's Welsh, by the way, this using hands. So they're analogues, these memes, to genes. They actually can create themselves, they can spread or mutate or whatever, just in the same way as virus. Okay, just a little bit about memes. The first one to talk about virus in terms of art study was this guy. And I guess everybody knows him. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows this pioneer of modern art, Malevich. I'm right, I presume. Yeah. Nobody doesn't know this guy? No. Good. He comes from the Ukraine. I got away with it this time. Last time I said it, I had a Russian who got incredibly annoyed with me. Said he was Russian. I never quite, yes, and he was Polish, yes, exactly. Yeah, at least his mother and father were, yeah, you're right. So anyway, off we go. But I think he was born, right, he was born in the Ukraine, was he not? I think so, yeah. So, just a little bit about him and about the start to this idea of virus. He was concerned about art study. He was, you know, he was interested. And so he starts this idea of the art virus. He describes a range of art styles that he sees as viruses. One, it could be Cubism, or his own idea, which was the part of the Russian avant-garde, and so on and so on. There are more of them. So he sees these isms somehow spreading just like a virus. You could call them aesthetic. You know, in a way you get infected by something aesthetic. Affecting artists from new visual forms in life. And the word new, of course, is important here because we're back at the beginning. My coat, it's very hot. Because we're back in the beginning of the 1900s. By the way, I'm going rather quickly through this beginning. I will discuss more later. So you know, if you wonder why it's going so fast, I just want to introduce these. So, of course, we would then talk about new or novel things, how they affect, you know, the artist's mind or his feelings or his sensibility, or hers, I should say rather. So novel elements of the world. And he's already aware that we're affected by things outside of the art world. We're not in a study where we are kind of closed in, just looking at a Greek face or body, but we are actually searching outside for other things.